Hello, welcome to my craft room. We are going to go straight in with my projects and see what I've been up to. So first of all, the little scrappy project. I have been just using up some scrap yarn from the Stephen West shawl behind me. So this is all Drops alpaca 4-ply, and I just wanted to do a very simple sock head cowl to use that up. So I've got a shorter ribbon on the top because I wanted to change when the colour changed, and then I've just been doing the stockinette. So I've gone from the darker red to the coral, and I'm just in the green. I've not got so much of the green. You can see where there could be a hat. Couldn't it? I could have it as a hat. But I don't use hats very often, so I'm going to go for a cowl because I use it more then. So yeah, I'm just using the green. So I haven't dropped it. I haven't got a lot of the green left. I've just got that bit and a bit more, so there's not going to be a very wide stripe of the green. And then I've got a little bit of like the fawn beige colour, so that would be next. Once again, it's not going to be a very big stripe. I'm just doing magic knot just to connect them, keeping it very simple, and then I shall be doing a rib in the cream to finish off. And the idea is that the rib gives it a bit of stability, so that'll stick up more, but then all this will sort of collapse down around, and it's not going to do it obviously. But so it's going to be like, you won't see how big the stripes are when it's going round because it's all going to do its own thing. So I'll either have it up that way or I'll have it up that way. So yeah, it's just a fun little project that I'm enjoying doing. I'm just using a small circular. I actually bought some needle stoppers at the NEC last Saturday. It's something I've needed for a while, so they're keeping my stitches on nicely, but it's just a small circular, so I'm just going round and round. So just a nice, easy, no-brainer project that I'm enjoying, and it's not going to take me much longer until I've finished that. There's already plans of what's going to be next. A lot of people have mentioned that Vixen needs more clothes. We shall move on to that in a minute. So the other project I have is my DK socks. Not a lot of progress. These, I've just been knitting on them in bed, to be honest. So it's not been much progress on these, but it's just a case of I am finding them quite hard on my hands. So I'm just doing them in little spurts. So I've knit the heel, did the heel turn, and just done the gusset stitches down, and so I'm just going around heading for the toes now. So this is in holding one strand, well, two strands depending on what colours I want, of the Drops Nord together. So then I've got this pop colour on the top, just the grey and the pink for the heel, and then just coming down here. So yeah, I will finish those in plenty of time. I'm trying to do a pair of socks every month, so they will be finished by the end of March. Then I have my main project at the moment, and this is College Days. It's a 3 drops pattern, and I am knitting it in Stylecraft Amour, and it's a 40% wool and 60% acrylic. It's bottom up, so that's how far I am. So I've got quite a long way. I need to do 30 centimetres until I'm supposed to then bring in the armholes, but I'm probably going to do it longer than that because it is quite a short one on the pattern, and I'm 5'8", so I'm a bit longer, so I'm going to add a couple of inches onto the length of that, I think. Loving how it looks. Those colours, very spring-like, I think. So yeah, it's coming along nicely. It's a Aran weight yarn and I'm knitting it on 4.5mm needles. So it's knitting up quite quickly. It's a nice, easy, relaxed knit, that one. So I'm enjoying that one. The only cause for concern is I had 3 balls of this, which I thought was going to be plenty. I've started my second ball, so I still should be all right because I've done quite a bit, haven't I? With the first ball, so yeah, that must be at least 1/3 of the way through, so I think I'll be fine. I think I just expect it to take 2 balls, so when I ran out of the first one, I thought, ooh, am I going to be okay? But I think I will. And so it's only a vest, so it is literally, how far is that? I've got a tape measure here, excuse me. Ooh. If you was wondering who I was saying excuse me to, it's Alpaca. Right, so let's just give it a little measure and see. It's 28 centimetres, so really, by the pattern, I've near enough finished the body now. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have enough yarn. So I shall keep going for a good 2 inches extra to give me that extra length there. So that is that one. If you think I'm whizzing through, it's because we've been following these projects already, so I have spoken about them more in a previous video. So I didn't want to recap too much, but there will be more of what's happening to those in the rest of the video. So I do this video in sections, so it's like you can see how I'm progressing and what I'm finding is going wrong usually. And what's going right, what I'm happy with. So what else have we got? So those are my 3 projects. I still only got 3 projects on the go. As I mentioned, we went to the NEC. I didn't pick up much at the NEC, but what I did pick up, apart from those needle stoppers there, which have been very useful, I've been enjoying, I picked up some Debbie Bliss Rialto DK. And this I think is on clearance. It was on a good price. I picked up 5 of these. They're 50g balls. They're 100% wool, extra fine merino superwash. And yeah, it's quite a purpley pink. It's not looking the right colour. This looking more of a dark, I was going to say pink, but it is a pink. No, it is a cerise, dark cerise pink. Let's see if I can. No, still not coming up the right colour. You're going to have to just trust me on the colour. So yes, it is a lovely pink colour, and I went with a plan, like I mentioned last week, that I was just taking some quantities of what yarn for different things I would like to knit, so if I found something I could get something for that. And I did mention before that I really wanted to have a pink vest, like a DK, because now I've got a chunky one, I'm knitting an Aran weight knit one, and now this is going to be a DK one. So I'm thinking about, I'm sure I've seen a pattern, I don't know if it's a drops one, but there was just a slip over vest and it had like a cable down the front, so I'm thinking about if I can find that one, maybe that one. But this is enough for a basic vest, so yeah, hopefully I will have enough yarn if I need it. As I say, it's DK weight and I've got 250g, which was the length of it was right for what I took with me. So yeah, that's going to be coming up in the future. So I'm glad I got that. That is, oh, and apart from, we all got, all three of us, we got one of these. We kept on seeing all over the show, there was these rag wreaths, so like oddments of your cotton yarn, not cotton yarn, cotton fabric, and just tied on, and it looked really effective, and we all fancied having a go. So we've all got one of these, so we're going to do that with all our scraps. So yes, I did want to buy fabric. I really wanted to buy fabric, but I didn't allow myself to buy fabric because I've got fabric that I bought last time that I still haven't used. So I thought, no, not going to do that. So then I thought, well, because I was looking at the fabric I had, and I thought, well, I'll use some, and then next time I go, I can buy some fabric. So my friend is doing a charity coffee morning, craft coffee morning. She's making something every day to sell at the coffee morning, and some people have been helping her by making some things for her to sell. And I thought, oh, I'll use up some of my fabric to make hair scrunchies. So I made a load of hair scrunchies. I kept this one back because this was my first one I made and it went a bit small. So it was a good way of doing it. It was a different way that I was doing it on, and it's what they call burrito method. So you roll it into each other and then sew round. You've already sewn the end, that end, and then all you have is a little opening at the side. And the way it showed it on the video that I watched, she had what she called a spoolie. It was a long thing that you could actually put the elastic in to go round. Or she said that you can use like takeaway chopsticks, neither of which I had. So I used an old nappy pin. Well, not an old nappy pin. My son didn't have those sort of nappies, but a nappy pin that I found at the bottom of the sewing box. So I did mine through like that, and you're supposed to then turn it through together the right way out with the elastic. But you tie, yeah, and then you tie the elastic first. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it ended up all twisted and it wouldn't untwist. So when it was the right way, I couldn't undo the knot on the elastic. So I had to cut the elastic, retie it. By that point, it was too tight. So I kept this one by. But yeah, that's one of the fabrics I used. And what did this tell me, this little exercise of making these little scrunchies? I don't like using the sewing machine. I'd had enough. I had a headache by the end of it. It's a very quick, easy, simple thing. And what I've learned from this is I love fabric. Don't like sewing. I love the idea of sewing. I have made clothing. I can do it when I put my mind to it. It's just not my thing. So yes. I'm not going to go back there. I'm going to stick to the knitting and the cross stitch, I think. What else have I had? Oh yes. Now, this isn't from the show, but I was in town the other day and I'd already got a thought in my mind that I wanted to get some yarn to make Vixen a striped, blue and white striped sweater, because we're going on a road trip to France, and I thought if she's coming with us on the road trip, then she's going to need a little French jumper, isn't she, to wear. And as I said, everyone's been saying, what about Vixen's clothes? Poor Vixen. Camp Vixen. So, yeah. So I got some yarn. This is just from Home Bargains. I've never used Home Bargains yarn, acrylic yarn, but a lot of people said it's good, so I thought it's a good opportunity just to try some. They hardly had any in, but they did have just a navy and a blue. So I have been looking through the book, the Knitted Animal Friends book with Vixen, and we haven't finalised yet what she would like. So I've marked a few of the pages. So there is a stripe sweater that the dog's got on. Ooh. So there's a striped sweater there. So we could do that in navy and white. He's got long trousers. I'm thinking not long trousers. I'm thinking either a skirt. Oh, here's the skirt. So there is a skirt pattern that we could do. So she could have a sweater and then a skirt, perhaps a blue and white sweater and then a blue skirt. Or I quite liked this idea, and you'll know why. Don't think there's a better picture there, no. The horse is wearing a striped t-shirt. So maybe she should have a striped t-shirt. As we were going on our holidays, we don't know what the weather's going to be like going through France in April. Now Squirrel has got some shorts, if we wanted the shorts option. Now Raccoon, he has got striped shorts and a plain jumper. So that's looking quite French, isn't it? I don't think she would look good in striped jumper and striped shorts though. I think it's just one thing, isn't it? Otherwise, yes, I know it's not very slimming, is it? But after saying that, is it a duck? Yes, it is a duck. It's not. I was thinking it was a goose then. She could have a striped dress instead, just a one item whole outfit thing. So I quite like that. But then we haven't got any red, and I'd quite like to have red as an accent. Because not only would she be red, white and blue for Britain, she would also be red, white and blue for France. So yes, that might be an option, but we need some red. Then Ram's got a nice holiday outfit on, little shorts and a top. If we didn't, we could just go navy and white, just like that. But I do like the traditional Breton stripes. I think that's it. So those are the options. So I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. So we shall see as the video moves through the week, then we will find out what I cast on. Perhaps I have got some, I could do some red. Have I got any red? I need to have a look. I think I've just used my red in my thing that I could have used. We shall see. Is that it, Vixen? Is that everything? I think you are up to date at the moment. I've got good news. I found some red. It's not DK, but I can hold two strands together. And this is the Drops Flora alpaca and wool. This was gifted to me not long ago. So that would be really nice with that one. Bearing in mind we've got the King's coronation coming up in May. So yeah, I think a touch of red with the blue and the white would be perfect for a little French road trip. So that is that sorted. So I think it looks like we're going to do the dress. It's probably the easiest as well, isn't it, really? I don't know where I'm thinking about that cables vest, but I think the one I'm going to go for is the Drops Visit Vienna one, which is a basic one, but it's got like ribbon, extra ribbon sort of square round there, and it's got a deeper round neck, which I think would be nice. So yeah, that is on the cards. But before I do my vest, I need to finish the other one. And yeah, when I finish that cowl, I will start on the little dress for Vixen. She's looking very pleased. It's hard to tell with her face, but she's looking very pleased. Are you pleased, Vixen? If you are, do you want to tell your face that? It's not showing. I watched two of my favourite programmes last night. The first one is the third series of Race Around the World. This time they are racing from one end of Canada to the other. They win, it's couples. If you haven't seen it before, it's couples. I think it's probably about 6 different couples. So there's like 2 father and daughters, there's husband and wife, there's 2 friends. So different sort of ages, mixes. And they've got to get from one end of Canada to the other end. Not allowed to use mobile phones. They haven't got anything extra apart from the budget that they've been given. So they have to use that wisely, and they have to get jobs and things on the way if they need to help fund what they're doing. And so they have to use public transport and the generosity of the public and things. And yeah, it started off really well last night. We loved it. And Canada, I mean, I knew Canada was a beautiful country, but it's just stunning. It is really worth it to see actually more in depth of Canada, and yeah, the wildlife, the countryside. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the series. So yeah, if you've not checked it out before, it's called Race Across the World and it's on BBC, so it'll be on the iPlayer. This is the third series. So if you haven't watched any of them, start the first one and watch all of them because they're really good. They literally, sometimes they go from different countries, they're crossing different countries, and yeah, brilliant, love it. I love the actual seeing the countries. I love seeing how people cope in these groups of when they start off. It's like the different dynamics and who copes well, who doesn't cope well. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. There's no way me and Gary would be able to do it. Roughing it, just, yeah, no. It's not us. But I do admire people that do it, and it's an amazing experience. And I think as well, it's just the memories that they are gathering from doing this with somebody special in their life is just amazing. So yeah, really looking forward to the rest of that series. The other one is on Sky and it's Town Called Malice. Now there is some swearing and things in this, so if you don't like that, don't watch that. But it's based in the 80s and it's a South London family it's based around, and one of them is up on a murder charge, and so they flee to Spain. So it's how this 80s family that's very rough around the edges and sort of real wheeler dealers. They're not murderers. Well, I say that. It's very tongue-in-cheek and it's supposed to be comedy, but it's brilliant because it's got the soundtrack of the 80s. And yeah, I'm playing a little game. Gary's not enjoying the game very much because he can't do the game, but my game is that you have to say, when one of the songs comes on, you have to say who it is, the group and the song, as fast as you can. And I'm just getting in within a few seconds and Gary's not enjoying it. And there's a lot of singing going involved. That's from me as well because Gary does not do lyrics. Funny story about Gary, quite early in our sort of like in the first year, I think, of us being together, and I can't remember what the song was, but he said to me, there was a song on the radio, we were in the car, and he said, every time I hear this, I think of you. And I said, oh, really? Because the lyrics are, every day I love you a little less. And he was like, oh, okay, not a good song then. He doesn't do lyrics. So yes, don't try and be romantic, Gary, when it comes to records, because no. Anyway, moving on. What was I knitting on while I was watching these programmes? So we'll go biggest first. So this is my college days slipover vest. And I have split for the sleeves. Sleeves? There are no sleeves, it's a vest. I have cast off for the armholes. That's what I meant. It's hard to show it because I that's where I've cast off, and then I'm coming just up the front on one side and still got the stitches on the back that I will go back to, but I'm just working on this side at the moment. So I was wondering how it was going to knit up, because obviously I'm only going half the distance, well, less than half the distance now for this, because it's sort of striping, and it's given me a bigger stripe there, but I'm not minding it. I think it's okay. It's changed, but I think it will look okay. So I'm happy with that overall. So I've got to do 10 centimetres of this before then there's the round neck, so I'll probably go up one side and then the other. As always, I don't do what you're supposed to do and read through the pattern. I just follow the instructions as I come to them, because I've got a terrible memory and I'll forget anyway. So so yeah, I'm just working my way up that front there. So all is well with the vest. So that is really good TV knitting, that one. And then the cowl, I've made progress with this one as well. So I am on my last colour. So going darker to lighter. So I said that I had different scraps as I went. So I've got a lot more of this coral, not so much of the yellowy green, even less of the neutral shade, and now I've gone into ribbing for the top. Now the sock head cowl, you're supposed to do 4 inches. I didn't do on that on the bottom because I just went with what I had of that red. I don't know how much I'm going to get out of this. I've got a little bit more in my bag there, but as long as I would like to have as much at the top as on the bottom, I think that's enough anyway. Because as I said, sort of once it's on, it's going to be, I'm going to try again. It never works when I try and show. Once it's all scrunched up, I think that'll be plenty anyway. So yes, that's going to be finished quite soon now, I think. And yeah, I'm really loving that. Lovely, easy knit. Just got to do that 2x2 rib now, so it's going to slow me down a bit, but it's still TV knitting if I want it to be. So because I've got 2 TV knitting projects on the go and my socks as well, which is also TV knitting, I thought, why not, because I've got some time in the day, why not start doing Vixen's dress? Yes, your dress. So I am going to do that stripy one. I've looked at it and it's basically the same. So you start at the top. Sorry to hold you by the throat. You start at the top the same as this one, and you're knitting it flat because of the opening at the back. So this is all flat, and then you join in the round at the bottom there. Sorry. You're joining the round for the bottom section. So I have pulled out, let's sit there for a minute. I have pulled out my little vintage straight. So I've got a couple of short straights and size 11s, so that's 3mm. And I'm going to cast on with 2 strands of the Flora in the red, just to remind you. Let's have a little look. Where are you, ducky? So that is what she is having. So instead of the blue, 2 different types of blue stripes, it's going to be blue and white with the red trim. So I'm going to cast on with the red and then go into the blue and white. So we'll see how I get on. As I say, I'm thinking it's going to be quite basically the same as the other, but it's just stripes instead of having the pattern on the front. Don't have to worry about no jog at the moment because it's going to be flat. So I'm presuming it's going to be 2 stripes, is it? Yes, so it's 2 rows per stripe, so it's just going to go along and back, change colour along and back, but I don't know, because of the thing, I'm not going to be able to carry it up, am I? I shall figure it out as I go and report back. Progress has been made. I had to change up to a bigger needle size when I finished doing round the neck, so I changed to a circular needle because I am doing increases for the sleeves. So there's 4 markers. Oops, I should hold it up here. Got loads of yarn all over the place. So there's 4 markers for the increasing for the sleeves. Would you like to try it on? Would that show it more effectively? Put it around your neck. See if it suits your colouring, Vixen. I know everything suits you because you're so beautiful, but let's have a look. Oh yes, you're looking more French already, isn't she? So yeah, so we've got the increases for the sleeves there, red at the top, and the way I'm doing the band at the back, because you go across and back, but then when you've got the white you need the blue, so there is a separate, it's intarsia, so I've got a separate little supply of blue there to do that little band to carry that on. I haven't got a lot. Initially what I wanted to do was have work from the outside and the inside of the ball to use that, but that ball of yarn does not want to do that the way it's wound, and it is just falling apart already. So yeah, not very stable, this yarn in the actual ball. So yeah, I've got those 2 going on, and then that little bit as well to carry on down, so I might have to get some more for that, but yeah, bonjour. So I shall carry on with that and see how we get on. So while I've been knitting that, where are you going to sit? Organise yourself. While I was knitting on that, I was listening to an audiobook, and it's just a short story. I listen to my audiobooks on BorrowBox, and it's a Louise Cavendish one. I think you're going to have to sit down there because I can't get my tablet for the information. Okay. Okay? Happy? No. Obviously not. There you go. Okay, so I listen to my audiobooks on BorrowBox. It's a free app in the library. And this one was only 1 hour and 40 minutes, a short story, quick read by Louise Cavendish. It's called The Skylight. I shall put a picture up what it looks like, and it's really good. It is very gripping. It's a thriller. It's one of these suburban thrillers, so it's about the couple upstairs, the upstairs flat and the downstairs flat, and what goes on between them. And yeah, it is very gripping and brilliant. I listened to the whole thing. Literally, that took me the whole time that I was listening to that. So I have gone straight back onto BorrowBox to find another one, and there's several on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 3 full-length books and that quick read. There's also Our House by Louise Cavendish, which was on the TV. I think it was like beginning of the year, January time, which was really good. The same sort of thing. Our House is, they are living in a house, as you do. Couple living in a house. They go away on holiday, come back, and the house is sold. And yeah, there's somebody else living in it. Was that the one? I'm questioning now. I'm sure that was the one. I can't remember, and as I said, it's only January, but yes, really good dramatisation. So if you can get it on BBC, sure it's on BBC, take a look at that. Sorry, there's another one. There's 4 actually on here. The one that I've just downloaded is called Those People, and it's another suburban thriller. So really lovely community, child friendly, everyone gets on, and then this new couple come and live in that community, and something happens. And yeah, I shall find out and report back to how I get on with that one. So I'm excited for that. This is my original what books I like. A thriller, wondering sort of, yeah, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, who's the sinister person. I love all that. So I shall be carrying on with that. Not been doing too good with my reading, my Make It Happen March. I haven't been making my reading physical book happen. I've just, yeah, lost it. Got a really good book to read. It's not the book, it's definitely all about me. So yeah, but if I can have audiobooks, then I'll just carry on with the audiobooks for now. Whatever works. Say, Vixen, whatever works. So plans for next week. I have got several things that I could be finishing next week, so hopefully I shall have some finishes. The vest could be finished, the cowl could be finished, the sock needs to be finished. What we're up to next Sunday is going to be the 2nd, so yeah, end of the month wrap up next Sunday, so I want finishes, and hopefully Vixen will be modelling her new French dress. So thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely week, happy knitting, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.